Welcome back, it's 9, and we have a lot of exciting news to discuss today. We are going to be talking about how Sony is boosting output of PlayStation 5 to meet surge in demand. We are talking about a leak of another PlayStation 5 controller in a consumer's hands, which looks more realistic in my opinion than the last leak. And we are also going to be talking about how the PS5 launch game GodFall makes full use of the DualSense controller. But before we get into that, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, hit the like button, it helps the channel a ton. Now let's get right into it. This comes from Bloomberg.com titled Sony Boosting Output of PlayStation 5 to Meet Surge in Demand. Sony Corp is roughly doubling its PlayStation 5 production to 10 million units this year due to current events happening around the world, according to people familiar with its plans. Sony had previously aimed to produce 5 million to 6 million PS5 units by the end of March 2021, Bloomberg News has reported. Sony began PS5 mass production in June, and under the latest plan expects to assemble 5 million units by the end of September and another 5 million between October and December. A large portion of the latter tranche would turn into stock for 2021 due to the logistical delay. Sony could try to use air cargo for faster delivery, as it did in 2013 around the launch of the PlayStation 4, though airlines are running vastly reduced schedules and Sony's ability to reserve flights would be limited. So I think this is great news for people who are looking to buy a PlayStation 5. We are going to be getting nearly double the quantity of consoles shipping, and this is only good for us who are trying to get a hold of one. Does this mean that it's going to be very easy to get a hold of one? Probably not. I think we're still going to have to be on our toes, ready to pre-order whenever they do hit the market, and that's the only way to truly secure yourself a PlayStation 5. And of course, I will keep you guys up to date as soon as that happens. But ultimately, what this means is that Sony knows the interest that everybody really has in the PlayStation 5, and they know they want to be prepared to meet the demand. The last thing you want is to not have product to meet the demand. That way you're losing out on many sales. So it's exciting news because this just means there will be more availability of the console going forward, and hopefully this could hint towards maybe us getting a release date and price and pre-order date soon. I hope. It's wishful thinking at this point. But on to the next topic. We are talking about a leak that happened, and this comes from GamingBolt.com titled PS5. Another real-life image of the DualSense seemed to have leaked, and this image is quite realistic. So it looks like this is an actual controller, a PlayStation 5 DualSense that is in someone's hands, and this comes over on Twitter at GamesAway_co. has uploaded an image showing a DualSense being held in a hand. As is always the case with such things, there's a lot of skepticism about whether this is real. You'd be surprised at the amount of effort people put into creating convincing fakes. So it's possible that this is fake. I think that it wouldn't be out of the ordinary for somebody to be able to get a hold of something like this early. I mean, we've seen it before in the past with many different devices. So this could just be another case like this. It looks very convincing, and I'll have it up on screen for you guys. I think that it's possible that this is the real deal. It looks like it. It really does. It definitely does not look like a 3D printed one. But then again, as I say, I could be wrong, but it looks very convincing and looks perfect in size. It really meets the expectations that I had for the controller, so it doesn't blow me away that it looks like it fits in the hand properly. I mean, it looks like a really good controller. But again, take this with a grain of salt. This could be fake, absolutely. But if it's not, I'm pretty pleased with it. You guys have to let me know what you think. But on to our last topic, and this comes from PushSquare.com titled How PS5 Launch Game Godfall Makes Full Use of the DualSense Controller. Speaking with GameSpot, game director Keith Lee explains how the looter slasher plans to do this. What's exciting about the DualSense controller is the fact that it has stereo vibration in terms of the rumblers, as well as resistance on the triggers. So one of the things that you can do is to create for the first time a sensation of your weapon hitting another weapon and how it resonates. The fact that if you are sliding across the ground, depending on the surface of the material, you might slide on gravel or sand or water, the way the vibrations work really feel like the way that those surfaces would feel. So it's a lot more powerful in terms of creating that experience. Lee goes on to state that since Godfall is an experience all about melee combat, the range of different weapons on offer makes the PS5 DualSense controller incredibly exciting. weapons will clash with one another in a number of different ways, and Counterplay Games is looking into ways of telegraphing to the player that an enemy is about to attack you from off-screen. So this is a big reason why the PS5 controller is as exciting as it is. It offers so many different features, and if developers are going to take advantage of these controllers, I think amazing experiences can be had. Typically with next-gen hardware that launches, there are always these new features that get added, whether it be to the controller or to the console. In this case, we're talking about a controller, and in the beginning, they do get used, but down the road, eventually developers just don't care anymore and don't really take advantage of all the features. And I hope that this isn't the same case going forward in the PlayStation 5 lifecycle, because there are some great things built into the DualSense that I can't wait to see what developers do with to help us feel more immersed in these games. And really, if GodFall's going to do it, I gotta imagine that Sony first-party studios, for the most part, will be taking advantage of these features, and maybe those games that are tied pretty close with the PlayStation brand will do the same, but I don't imagine that every single game is going to do that. But we'll only know through time, and this is where I pass this on to you all, and I ask you guys, what do you think of Sony boosting output of the PlayStation 5 to meet surge in demand? Do you think this is a really good sign that we're going to have more PlayStation 5s to go around, and maybe we won't have to struggle so much to get a hold of one? What do you think of this image that leaked of the PS5 DualSense? Do you think it's real? Do you think it's fake? And lastly, what do you think of what GodFall's doing with the DualSense controller? And are you excited for GodFall? Let me know in the comments. As always, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos. Follow me on Twitter. Link will be in the description. Share this video with a friend, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. Take care.